Legend of Total War here, and today we've got a 7-year disaster battle playing as the World Walkers going up against Etain, where we've got two kind of weird armies, just sort of random mix of units, I guess, and Tyrion's coming at us here, fairly high level, and he is bringing 3 full stack armies. And when you build armies like this, you just mash a whole bunch of units together. It can be kind of difficult to overcome any army that might actually be a little bit bigger than you. So I can see why you probably had a hard time with this, because yeah, this army there's nothing particularly fantastic about it. It's got a couple of really good units and also a few units that aren't so good. I'll get into that in a bit. Everything's on the max battle difficulty, but there's no AI stat modifier, which I understand why people who play a melee-based faction would want to do that, but we're going to bump it up to very hard. And start up the battle and read out the email. I do want to control large army in this situation. I'll explain why in a minute. So it says, "Hey Legend, I'm playing Norska campaign to build an armored Skinwolf Doomstack, but I've gotten myself into a problematic situation. I made a mistake on the campaign map and accidentally set up my 2 armies to get attacked by 3 of Tyrion's. I can do fairly well against the first 2 armies, except for Tyrion himself, but my troops have been ground down enough that the 3rd army finishes me off. If I lose this battle, I'll have nothing to stop Tyrion from taking Albion from me." Okay, so first thing I would recommend is not building an armored Skinwolf Doomstack. It's not very good, but, you know, do whatever you want, but that's not my recommendation. So the Skin Wolves are actually the units that I would have said were not particularly great in this situation here. They're just not fantastic troops. I actually think that we're going to get a lot of value out of the Norscan Ice Trolls. Now, we're playing as the World Walkers, not Wintertooth, so we don't get that extra physical resistance, but I still think they're going to be fairly valuable. These Mammoths are okay. War Mammoths would have been better, largely so that we don't have to deal with Feral Rage. That's going to suck when we can't control them, but it is what it is. Now, he said that his primary problem, he couldn't manage to get rid of Tyrion, right? Thing is, if we want to win this battle, we have to get rid of Tyrion. Now, Tyrion is very bloody tough. We don't have anyone that is on a one-on-one basis going to be able to duel him. So we need to lure him away from his army, draw him into our forces, and basically get the giants to come in and kill him, because they're the only ones with melee attack high enough to be able to do anything about it. And because these skin wolves they're technically anti-large, but they're also weak against fire, and he has flaming attack, so I don't know, I don't think they're going to be that handy. But we can use them to sort of pin him down. Now, as for the trolls here, what I want to do with all of our monsters in this army, for the most part, is stand back a little bit to begin with, because while we won't fight as well in the trees, their archers, which are a big concern for us, will miss us at a basically they'll lose more missile accuracy than we'll lose melee attack. That's what I'm suspecting. Also, our wizard here is basically nothing, so fireball's not going to do a hell of a lot, especially against Tyrion, but we'll see how we go. There's a shadow wizard in this one as well, but it's all fairly low level, like we got tier level 1 here. Okay, so like I said, what we want to do is get Tyrion's attention straight away. See if he'll come at us. Sending that stuff instead. Okay, start moving them back a little bit, because what I want to try to do is, look, I'll settle for the dragon. Anything that wants to come at me, that's fine. Would have preferred Tyrion. What we want to try to do is get this army over here as early as possible before their reinforcements come in. The reason being is that if we can bring our reinforcements here, we'll have 2 armies versus 1 earlier than if we let them wait for their reinforcements. So yeah, just try to let the dragon come in. That's it. I don't want to go chasing after them just yet, otherwise they'll meet us in the middle, and I don't want that. They're still coming at us. This is good. This is good. Take a little bit of damage, and they've got... No, they don't have flaming attack. Come on, let's go. Keep going. Draw it in over here. We can regenerate. If we can take out these dragons nice and early, at relatively low cost, that'd be really good. Draw them into the forest. That's it. That's it. Good. Now just wait for them to land. They might do breath attack. And unfortunately, the trees didn't block it. Now, surround this one here, and let's kill this dragon. This is a pretty good start, but I would have preferred Tyrion over here for sure. This guy's trying to be Super Mario Dragon and just, like, jump on our head. Look, coins don't pop out of our ass, right? So yeah, surround it. And yeah, they're coming at us. Good, Tyrion's coming over here as well. Yeah, get rid of these dragons nice and early without them having done much damage. That'd be really good. Our reinforcements come in at the same time as theirs, but they've got a lot further distance to cover. Now, I want Tyrion to be fighting the giants, so they'll be in here soon. A bit blobbed up, but that should be okay. So yeah, we won't really be able to catch them. So, anything that we can do to block their shots is going to be really handy. Get these ones over here as quickly as we can. So far, I think fairly minimal damage being done to us. No, you're not going to fight well against Tyrion. So get out of there. Just keep Tyrion pinned down until these giants get over here. Because they're the key to stopping Tyrion, I think. Okay, I want some control groups. I want you control group 1. I want these two control group 2. This control group 3. And all mammoth be control group 4. I want the giants control group 5. Alright, that should do it for now. Good, we've already done a decent amount of damage to Tyrion. No Sword of Cain on him this time, so that's lucky for us. Get out of the way of that if you can. That won't do that much damage to us. Keep him pinned down. Keep him pinned down until the giants get here. They're not very quick. Okay, we need some mammoths to go after their Sisters of Avalon. Fimir, I think, have a fair bit of missile resistance. Get them over here. Get over this way. It will take a bit of damage. Now, the reason why I think that the trolls are going to be more useful is because of their regen. That being said, skin wolves have regen as well. I just find that trolls are more durable. No, go for this. Go for this. Go for this. It's kind of good they're shooting at them because they've got a lot of missile resistance. That's the wizard. It would be great. Okay, how about you two? I want you to go and kill that one. Okay, giants. Get over here. Drawing Tyrion, although the mammoth actually isn't doing too bad there. Big blob, but we got no ability for like area effect attack here. I need to kill this wizard here. Because yeah, our magic sucks compared to them. That artillery piece is not that big of a concern. Okay, the other forces here have been beaten. Good, see how their second army is just arriving now. We've had 2 armies fighting their 1 army for a while. Damn, the mammoth actually handled that out just pretty damn well. Yeah. Difficulty modifier, right? I was really surprised by that. Okay, well, he'll come back. So we just have to deal with that. Okay, that's kind of good if they're casting on their own units a little bit. Where's this one? Stuck in there. Don't fight. Damn, he's on foot, so mammoth might be okay because they're anti-infantry. See how they're blobbed up like this? That's really good. Really, really good. I don't think our infantry are going to be super useful to us in this battle here. I think our best bet is to use this spell. Okay, send one of the trolls to take out the Eagle Claw bolt throwers if we can. Alright. How are we going here? Yeah, kill that wizard. I don't want her casting on us anymore. Okay, they're archers. Just try to use our monsters to punch through their infantry because they just got no mass. As in their infantry, that is. Especially our mammoths. Charge through here, stop their missile units from shooting. This may be where he was going wrong. Let's see, is Tyrion back here? I'll leave this guy back for now. They're not going to be that big of a threat. Don't worry about them so much. Good, get rid of the artillery. Good, the other wizard's gone. Well, that's the only wizard they've got, so that's good. No more chain lightnings or anything for them. Although they were hitting their own units a little bit. Okay, how are we going here? Let's pull these out because they're fighting mostly melee infantry, so that's not really their forte. And try to use them as a bit of a flanking force. So get all of them around over here. Put them in control group 6 now. Pull them out. We've almost won here. That's the remainder of Tyrion's army. Start getting the mammoths over here. This is where there's a huge portion of infantry. This is where we need them fighting. Don't worry about like little dregs and tiny little bits of their forces still remaining. That's not important. That's it. Get in there. Where are you? Get over here.
Born to fight for the masters.
Okay. You... Yes. Just whatever. Just make sure we're actually using it. Okay, taking a bit of damage here on this guy. And although he's level 1, let's try not to get anyone killed, especially heroes. And Giants are still in decent shape. But there's Tyrion. Okay, I need all the Giants going after Tyrion. How much damage has he done? A fair bit, but that was to be expected. We don't have anyone that was particularly good against him. That one back. They're going after our Mammoth there, but I reckon they'll lay off at it in a bit. No point chasing after that. Can't catch it. But yeah, the reason why we want the Giants to go after it is because of their massive melee attack. Because Tyrion has really high melee defense. We did. Lost his martial mastery. So, now... Good. He's gone, and now we just got to get rid of Alistair. So send a Mammoth to go finish him off. Blob over here, just make sure their archers aren't shooting at us, and they can't control that because it's broken. They might actually kill that Mammoth. But like I said, I'm not going to risk any of my other units over here to go deal with it. It's just over there. Hopefully that'll shatter. It should shatter. It's at minus 55. I don't seem to be too interested in it. Also, another thing that we wanted to do in this situation here, whenever there's like tiny little bits and pieces of their forces, don't run them off the battlefield, because that just brings in more of their reinforcements. So if they've got like a piddly little unit, let them stay. Take out their full strength units and don't wipe them out completely. Alright, Giants, get in over here. Want them sorting out the single entities. Okay, yeah, let that go. Can't control rampage units. I hate rampage. Okay, where are you? Okay. Yeah, don't exactly have a whole lot of abilities to use. Back over here. How'd we go with him? Alright, look, he's not that important. Don't send anyone to go run him down. He'll possibly rally. Let me just check. Yeah, he'll rally, and that's fine. Keep him on the battlefield so that these guys here just trickle in. A little bit at a time. It's okay if that one leaves the battlefield. So yeah, I forgot to explain why I wanted to control a large army. Because I needed the Giants to fight Tyrion, basically. Which they did, and they killed him. After the Mammoths weakened him a fair bit. But yeah, there was no getting around Tyrion dishing out loads of damage to us. That was just going to happen. And now, without him killing off all of our single entities, we're fine to just mow down their infantry as... Oh, god damn it. Look, you've only got to get a couple more hits. Okay, if you can run him down... Okay, you won't get wiped out with that many casualties. The fact that they're all blobbed up like this is really good. Damn, that's a really early army losses, because they haven't even brought in all their forces yet. And this is controlling large army. They can have 40 units on the battlefield at a time.
Begin the butchery.
Now, he didn't say whether or not he controlled large army or not. So I have no idea. But yeah, if we didn't control large army, their first army would have wrecked our first army. This is why we wanted to kind of have two armies versus their one, but I had to draw them in early. Which worked, because yeah, these guys showed up really late, and they showed up disorganized as well. If you just sit there and wait for them and let them get, you know, all in a proper line, and these guys fought like absolute shit like this. They should not have blobbed up at all, because when in a blob situation, it heavily benefits monsters. And then yeah, just make sure we kill as many of them as we possibly can. So I don't think any units got wiped out. It was a very close call there with that Mammoth. I don't think any units got wiped out. Yeah, I don't think so. The only downside to them getting the army losses like that, this is really petty, is that we just didn't get a chance to kill them. But if we inflicted an early army losses like that, it just means that we had smashed the first two armies to such an extent that the third army, they just basically adjudicated us a win. I don't think we got a whole lot of value out of the Marauder champions. But yeah, also them sending like 2 dragons to go and fight like 6 mammoths or 7 mammoths, really bad call. Again, we wanted them to make a really bad call early on, because then they're suffering from it the entirety of the battle. Because if you like have your 40 units versus their 40 units, then that gives their dragons more opportunity to stay in the sky and burn units and get a lot more value on it. Whereas if you kill them super early, focus on this really high value units very early on. As long as you're able to actually kill them. Like if you don't have anything that's good against them, the best thing you can do is try to lure them away. But in the case of Tyrion, he was so much faster than everyone that we've got that there was just no hope of us being able to realistically achieve that. Cool. But yeah, honestly, this army did actually perform better than I expected. Seems like everything was mostly fresh recruits as well. We were kind of lucky that the... Okay, here's another thing. With the Norscan Ice Trolls, they would normally have pretty low leadership because they're trolls, right? But it's really bad if you get them spread out. If you keep them close together and keep heroes close together, they'll be a little bit more confident. Of course, as soon as a couple of them start routing, it can start a chain reaction, so it's a bit of a risk doing that, which is why it was so important for us to take out that wizard. But he had the tools needed to do that, so got a close victory there. So yeah, definitely no units in this army got wiped out. So the one that was badly damaged must have been from the reinforcing army. Yeah, that would have taken more casualties, because for one thing, this is fully monsters, where this one's got infantry. But yeah, I would not recommend going full armored Skinwolf Doomstack. I don't think that's a good idea. But if that's what you want to do, you just go right for it. That being said, it doesn't have any armored Skinwolves in this army. So, yeah, no units wiped out, but that one's a close call with that. But yeah, Mammoths are freaking awesome. As long as they're not lured away because of Rampage, which is such a stupid ability. It is what it is. Cool. I don't think they'll attack us again, because close victory indicates that they suffered significantly more damage than we did. Can't see what's going on. It's probably just their armies pulling back. Yeah. Well, it seems like Albion's been saved. And you know what? This is kind of like a, I guess, somewhat Tides of Torment style battle, because it's going to be sort of sea-themed, I guess. And, I mean, they haven't announced that it's going to be High Elves, but come on. We all know it's going to be High Elves. Just making sure nothing else goes wrong in this turn here. So maybe he's just getting some practice in playing Norska, going up against some High Elves. Getting some practice for them. Yeah, so the Talisman of Preservation, I was mentioning this, I think, in the previous video. Wondering whether or not it was going to get health, what's it called, Battle Healing Cap. It doesn't, but they did increase the amount of ward save it provides. It does seem like it's going to be a lot easier now to obtain like 90% ward save on a greater variety of characters. Maybe even essentially all legendary lords might actually be possible to do it, because having a look at various items, I still haven't gone through everything. You can obviously get the Sword of Cain for like 30% ward save. You get the Helm of Draeska trait, which is 10%, so that doesn't even take an item slot. But now you've got also the Burning Books of Khorne, which that's an enchanted item, and that provides 20% ward save. So you've got a whole bunch of different items in different slots now that provide a shitload of ward save.
I may be a puppet like you.
And of course, with the Talisman of Preservation, 2% extra ward save. That only really makes a big difference if you're getting very close to 90%. Otherwise, like if it's the only item that you're equipping, the difference between 16% and 18% is not that big of a deal. But the difference between 88% and 90% ward save is actually huge. No. But legend in both cases, it's only 2. Alright, yeah, everything looks fine.
I'd usually negotiate with my...
Why don't they like you? Well, who cares? So you got this. Oh, you did this? Okay. So, what I usually like to do, and you don't have to do this, I like to try to get 3 of them to tier 2 and then get one of them to tier 3. So you went with the Serpent for reduced upkeep cost all armies. So this is Slanesh, right? That's a good one, I think, because of the reduced. Well, at least it was in Warhammer 2. Warhammer 3 probably not that big of a deal. Which one would I have gone for? I think this guy. Like, you don't get the reduced upkeep cost, but that character, Exalted Great Unclean One, Burble Smirk Spew Pit, I reckon he's the best of the 4. Because he just makes all of your fucking armies, well, just the army that he's attached to, ridiculously bloody strong. You definitely don't need that replenishment rate. The Norse can get heaps of replenishment, and all of them provide income from ports. And if you went with the Zinch one, Winds of Magic Power Reserve capacity, that's alright, but there's other ways of getting Winds of Magic Power Reserve. Alright, so this is where your armies were. And yeah, you shouldn't have any problem wiping them all out. And it's good that you actually managed to get some replenishment while at sea here. Both your armies are at full strength, so that looks good. And you've just made that army a bit stronger because of Tyrion's defeat trait. So that sounds good. Alright, cool. Well, your campaign looks like it's pretty healthy. Your economy's fine. Just not super late in the campaign. Sort of the armies I'd be expecting to see at this stage of the campaign. So yeah, everything is fine. Seems fine. It's just that one battle. So put the battle difficulty back to where it was, which is right in the middle there. It's a bit finicky. Yep. And then we'll send it back. Alright guys, that's the end of this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments below as well whether you're interested in more like High Elves versus Norska matchups, because it's probably going to be seeing a fair few of them, especially with the Tides of Torment DLC coming soon. I don't imagine there'd be a whole lot. I mean, we're used to seeing like High Elves versus Slanesh, that's nothing new. But High Elves versus Norska's uncommon, at least so far, in terms of the save files that get sent in. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.